Social media is just a platform that allows us to create and build a social presence. And that's really where your personal brand, and there's probably a better way to say that, comes from. We were talking about earlier, being connected to your purpose and what you do. You're mission driven, right? That then exudes in your client relationships, your client interactions, your social presence and whatnot. And something else too that I was picking up on that reminds me, like when I'm working with clients and whatnot, and we talk about, like what kind of content should I do? So one of the first great places to start is when you get a testimonial, don't just post a testimonial. Why did you get that testimonial? What problem did you solve or opportunity did you create? Talk about that. Talk about how excited you are, enthusiastic that you were able to solve this challenge, ease the pain, and provide a solution. And just do that. Apply that, and that'll build a conversation framework or a social presence framework, because I guarantee whatever challenge they had, somebody else likely has a similar challenge or opportunity. And that's a really good place to start thinking about, and building that framework of, okay, if I am going to go in and open up a new community, what challenge am I solving?
Yeah, you hit a particularly sensitive string for me just now. I was recently was doing some fact checking on a presentation I was going to make at the New England Mortgage Bankers
Mhm.
Conference. And I kept hitting these two like pieces of data that I could not figure out how do I work these two pieces in because they seem like conflicting information. But basically, the data was 73%, nearly three quarters of Americans distrust financial institutions. Mortgage companies do not get a pass, by the way. Mortgage companies are right up in there. But three quarters of Americans do not trust institutions. Most of us work at institutions, but 86% of potential borrowers want a personal recommendation. 80%. So your personal brand right now, especially, it's way more valuable than any institution you can work with because that personal, just like you said, word of mouth referrals, those personal recommendations, don't just post like the one little thing that you got from your customer that says, thank you for everything that you did for me. Go deeper, go meet them again, interview them, Q&A session. What made this special for you? Was there a point where you got frustrated and you wanted to give up and then turn that into digital content because that's an online review like no other. I don't know how much more like personal recommendation you can get than putting a camera in somebody's face and asking them questions about why this worked for them. I'll tell you, it reminds me of a client that we had recently over the summer. This poor woman has been trying to buy a house for a year. She was on her third property. The first two properties fell out, various reasons. She had a very strict budget. I think one of the reasons one fell out was the condition of the property and she couldn't get it taken care of. The second one had a list of repairs. The seller didn't have the money to make the repairs, so that one fell out. And then we were working on her third attempt. At this point, you know how exhausted and
Yeah.
stressed out this woman is, right?
Yeah.
She's just trying to buy a house. She
And
has
just
this
starting to get
dream.
disenfranchised and,
Yeah, she's starting
yeah.
to back out, and we hit another. We got the payoff on the sell of the house she was buying. It was more than the seller expected. It's more than the seller was gonna make, and so she had a choice to make, right? So now here we are. She wanted to give up, and wow, my guess is that she had given up. And on a pipeline call, we do pipeline huddles, and I'll frequently be on those huddles to hear how things are going and we were having a pipeline huddle, and my loan officer said, she's given up. She's just going to back out. She just feels like this is not meant for her. And it just broke my heart. I was like, this tells you like the dream is alive. The home ownership dream is alive and well. The part that people are waning on is can it be for me? And we did not let her give up. I called her personally and said, let us help you work this out. And I asked some questions. We took another look at the numbers. We got some down payment grant money involved, and all in, she made it work. And she closed on that house, and she's a homeowner, and she's building wealth today. And all that. If my loan officer hasn't made that a digital content metric, I don't know who she is.
Well, and I mean,
That is exactly what needs to happen. Like that's why personal recommendations are so important because that story tells you exactly who that loan officer is, exactly hopefully who I am and who our institution is.